Packer and Durham. It is a Thursday, not just a regular Thursday. It's Cinco de Mayo. But you know what? We're now going to talk to a guy. Mike Rooney the other day said this guy is a major league baseball player. All right? He makes his debut with us. Luke Gold joins us from Boston College. Luke, it's a pleasure finally getting you on the show. First of all, congratulations on all your success. And, you are fun to watch the plate, my man. You can get it done. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
I know it takes a ton of work. Let me just follow up real quick on this, Wes, and we're going to have some fun with Luke. You're up there in Boston. I was just kidding around with you. I was watching the Red Sox game last night, and, it's the first week in May. Everybody's bundled up, and we're down here in the South where it's 85 degrees. But there's something about playing in Boston, isn't it? Whether you're a Red Sox fan, playing baseball for BC, the culture of baseball in Boston, how do you describe it to outsiders?
Yeah, I would say for an outsider, it can be described as tough. We can't really get outside, 8 to 10 months out of the year like some southern schools do. So it gives us a lot of time to work on stuff inside, work on the fundamentals. And, we're out in the field, plowing the field off in January when it's 25, 30 degrees out in the field. And kind of got to do what it takes to, get our reps in.
Luke, you're living in 300. You're living in mid-300s most of this season. Take me through the discipline of just the journey in college baseball, because we've talked about it this year. Mark and I have. We talked with Coach Gambino. We talked with a lot of guys playing, other coaches as well, just about the dynamics of pitching and hitting, especially in this league. It seems like most teams have both in some form or fashion where you got to get through the year. So what's the journey been like for you this season?
Yeah, it's been really like a growing journey throughout the whole season. The more I play, the more at bats I have, the more I realize that baseball is kind of a sport where you can never really be satisfied. You always kind of got to be looking for that next thing to work on, that next mechanical adjustment, the next approach at the plate. So I think just kind of embracing that mindset and going up every single day, trying to have good at bats, trying to hit the ball hard, is ultimately going to be what helps me, help the team out the best.
All right, but let me ask you this. You've got 175 plate appearances, and you only got 23 strikeouts. So you know what you're doing at the plate. How do you walk? Can you walk us through an at-bat a little bit about just kind of the mindset you go through?
Yeah, so let's say like in an ideal at-bat, I'm looking for a fastball over the plate, and, the first couple pitches, I find that I'm the most successful when I'm aggressive early in the count. Even if it's not the most perfect pitch to hit, if it's a strike that I'm on time for, I can normally do pretty good damage. And like you mentioned with the strikeouts, I just try to be tough with 2 strikes. Sometimes choke up on the bat a little bit, just try to put the ball in play and just try to be a really tough out.
Luke, I can't believe you answered that question. You know why? Because Parker Messick watches this show every morning.
Yeah, okay, he does.
You get the Knowles this weekend. And let me tell you something, that filthy lefty now, you know what's coming your way when you see Parker Messick this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty good challenge to look ahead of. Obviously leading the nation in strikeouts, but, I'm confident in our plan, our scouting report, so I'm excited for that challenge that we got on Friday night.
So take Florida State out of it because you get them this weekend. Put them over here on the side. Who in the league, when you come to the plate, you say, you know what, this guy, he got some nasty stuff. Who's the guy that immediately pops in your head in the ACC on the mound?
I would say it was a guy from last year, Andrew Abbott from Virginia.
Yeah.
Really good lefty. Yeah. He had a really good electric fastball, really good off-speed stuff, and he could really pitch. I saw he's kind of been tearing it up in the minors this year as well. So he was probably in my 3 years the toughest at-bat that I've had.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm fascinated kind of by the journey here a little bit for you. For Mike Rooney to say you're the best pure hitter in the ACC, it's a good baseball league, Luke. You got to take a lot of pride in this part of the game. But I also know, too, you want to be good defensively. You're not half-stepping on that side, right?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest things I was, focusing on kind of ending last summer, going into the fall, and this winter was just improving my overall defense, being more versatile and able to play multiple positions in the infield, and kind of settled into second base this year. It's kind of where I feel the most comfortable, and, put in a lot of good work with Coach Gambino and other coaches at BC, and I feel like I made pretty good strides in that regard in my game.
You got any superstitions? I mean, all baseball. Baseball, I have the biggest combination of superstition dudes I know on the planet. But do you got anything that goes that, hey, on Tuesdays I eat green beans? I mean, you tell me.
Not a whole lot. I do like to chew the same kind of gum during every game. It's Tried and Original in the blue pack. That's really it when it comes to baseball superstitions. It's got to be the same type of gum every game.
Now, where did that start?
I don't really know. I mean, I think it was sometime like beginning of last year. I kind of got on a hot streak to start the year, and I noticed I was chewing the same gum. So I guess, ever since then, past summer, then this year too, I've been chewing the same gum every single game.
Maybe that's what we should try. Wes,
right.
maybe that's what we should do. Try to gum in the blue pack. Maybe it'll change our luck a little bit.
No. I got to figure out something here, though. You're playing college baseball at BC, and you're from Boston, New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that make you a Yankees fan in Boston?
Yes, I am a Yankees fan. Haven't gotten too much grief from it, honestly, since being here at BC. Got a few other of my teammates who are Yankees fans as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll always, bleed pinstripes, I guess.
Wow. How do you get away with that?
So how's that work? Yeah, how's that work?
I mean, honestly, like I've been both to Fenway and Yankee Stadium. I do enjoy being at Fenway more. Obviously, we got to play there a few weeks ago for the ALS awareness game.
Cool.
But, I mean, yeah, like growing up, guys like, Gary Sheffield, Alex Rodriguez, Jeter, they were like all my favorite players, and kind of always just been a Yankees fan, to this day.
Look, when you're playing at Fenway, and again, I know you had Virginia Tech for that series. You're a baseball nut. We all are. I can't even imagine like sitting in the dugout at Fenway thinking, oh my God, just imagine the people that have been sitting right here in this spot, and you get to go out there and get a chance to play. I mean, it's almost got to be surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Even like kind of right when we first got there, they gave us like a half hour to kind of just walk around the field and just take it in before we even did any warm-up stuff. And, like you said, just all the, the legends and guys who like shaped the game of baseball that played there, like to be on the same field as them and play where they play, it was just an unbelievable opportunity, and, very fortunate that we were able to have that opportunity to raise so much awareness and so much money for ALS and the community.
So cool.
Okay, Luke. Take the Fenway experience being kind of set aside, and that's hard to do here. We talk about hitting here, and we've had guys on who, Kevin Parada was with us last week or so. We were talking about, home run balls, but he also talked about the discipline of it. So when you start to work on it, and you talked about your plate approach and things like that, give me guys that you try to emulate, or guys you pick up stuff from as you watch games unfold during the year.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say like a major league guy that I really like to watch is a guy like DJ LeMahieu. He's kind of I would say he's like a similar player to myself, like a bigger, taller infielder, but I just like the way he hits. He really uses all fields, and not to mention he's got a good amount of power too. So to kind of just see a guy like that and watch how he navigates at bats, it's pretty cool, and that's who I try to emulate on a daily basis. Is a guy like him.
By the way, have you been able to dabble in any name, image, and likeness, given your success this year and the fact that you've been around the block a few times?
Not a whole lot. We have plenty of resources at BC, but up to this point, it hasn't really something that I've pursued a whole lot. But
is that on purpose, or is that just because, hey, given where I am right now, I'm concentrating on my game, our team, and everything else? Yeah,
pretty much that, and it's still kind of like a new space. So I just want to make sure if I'm going to get into that stuff, and I'm fully knowledgeable and aware of kind of like what the possible consequences may be and stuff.
Got
like
it.
that.
Got it. Hey, okay, you grew up in New York. We talked about you being a Yankees fan. Here's the last thing from me. You grew up near Saratoga, didn't you?
Yep, about 10 minutes away.
So does that make you a horse racing guy for the weekend and the Derby?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. The track's a great time in the summer, just a great summer place, and had a lot of fun days there, with my family and friends.
So you'll be try to watch a little bit Saturday. I know you got a series with Florida State, but you kind of pay attention to the Derby.
Yeah, I like to pay attention. A lot of my dad, my grandparents, my uncles, they're big horse racing fans, so they'll be tuning in, and I'll try to watch when I can, with the game on Saturday.
Okay.
Luke, I've never been to Saratoga. I've heard it's like incredibly, stunningly beautiful, and that's like a bucket list item, even if you don't know a thing about horse racing. And I mean, I bet you a dozen people tell me that in my lifetime. So that's on my list. So is the Derby. So what makes a weekend of horse racing so much fun? Like you give me an experience that you want to be with your buddies. I mean, is it one of those things you dress up, or you just come in with your Yankee baseball hat and something cold to drink? I mean, you tell me. What's the attitude? What's the vibe there?
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like a whole day experience. You get dressed up a little nice. Sometimes I'll go with my friends and we'll, get at the gates early in the morning when they open up and try to get us a couple picnic tables. And it's kind of just, like I said, a whole day experience. You get there, late morning, kind of, buy a program, look at the horses and things like that. And just kind of like the whole, vibe and aura around the track, just really fun. It's just a great summer place, and it's a great experience to be a part of.
So like when you get a program, you can actually handicap what's going on. I mean, you're that kind of guy. I mean, you could say, hey, listen, I like the 5 horse in the third race.
I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing. I try to act like I do. I'll mostly like look at the odds and stuff like that. And there's like a couple trainers that I know a little bit about, but other than that, I'm just kind of, I'm winging it. But it's a lot of fun to do with my friends.
You know what? That's what we do on this show. We just wing it for 3 hours. We look like
That's
professionals,
exactly
but
what happens on this show.
But we're really not. All right, before we let you
we
go,
have no idea what we're doing.
That's right. Before we let you go, again, congrats on all your success.
Thank
but
you.
we are going to throw this question on you. Since you've been at Boston College, what has been your hardest class?
Ooh, I would have to say it was business law, the fall of my freshman year. Just a lot of reading, a lot of memorization. That class was kind of a doozy. It was tough.
Well, you may come in. That could come in handy once we see you in Major League Baseball doing your thing, man. We'll be rooting for you, man. You are a big time player, class act, man. Continued success.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Luke, great to have you with us. Be well, and good luck against Florida State. We'll be following along.